from the Instagram account of Gavin Newsom, or as I like to call him, scumbag greaseball bang your wife Governor Gavin Newsom. And of course, my name's Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please subscribe. I'm begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
Like, comment, share. Costs you nothing, helps me a lot. But if you want to spend money and help me, go ahead and buy my book. He says, Republicans in Alabama are trying to criminalize young women's travel to receive abortion care. Now, obviously, this is going to be littered with Democrat doublespeak dystopian euphemisms. And I really didn't want to do this. I truly did not want to give scumbag greaseball bang your wife Governor Gavin Newsom the attention he is so desperately looking for. But it just continues to get worse. And as a native Californian, I really had no choice. But here's the commercial that everybody's talking about. I think we've all seen it, but it's worth watching again. And there's just so many levels to this insanity.
We're almost there. You're gonna make it.
Yeah, you're gonna make it. But the baby is definitely not gonna make it. And that's just, we're splitting hairs at that point. And when you scroll through the comments, it's mostly people being quite critical of scumbag greaseball bang your wife Governor Gavin Newsom. So if this is so popular, if this is your whole campaign, you're going to bat for Biden, you're going to bat for Democrats, why aren't there more people being like, yes, Queen Slay? You can look at the top several comments. There's thousands of these things, but you can look at the top several and everybody sees through it, but they just keep doing it anyways.
Trump Republicans want to criminalize young Alabama.
Trump Republicans. I mean, give it a rest, bro. Everybody knows by now. And where did this police officer follow her from? Right? How did this happen? Did he really thought this got through a whole team of approvals for somebody to say, oh yeah, this makes sense. They're going to buy it. Right? Do you really think people are that diluted that this guy was randomly going to pull over a car and tell a woman to pee on a stick on the side of the highway? And what? So say she's pregnant and then they arrest her, or they drive her back to Alabama. There's so many levels to this nonsense.
Women who travel for reproductive care.
Miss, I'm going to need you to...
Hey, look, and they've been using this for years. We all know about it, but reproductive care, right? But care might imply that you are going to nurture a child and provide nutrients and love and support, not put it in the dumpster behind the Burger King.
Step out of the vehicle, take a pregnancy test.
Stop them by taking action at righttotravel.org.
Yeah, and this one, for whatever reason, went mega viral, got more attention, but it was only a couple weeks ago when he posted this one, and it did get a little bit of attention, but maybe in some weird way, it's just not as crazy as the random Alabama police officer stopping a girl who he somehow knows is pregnant and fleeing the state and wants her to take a pregnancy test on the side of the road. And what are the consequences? So say she makes it. Oh, she's safe. She's safe from the big, mean, scary Alabama Republican cops. And then you go back after committing a really barbaric act. And look, you can leave religion completely out of it, but outside of it, it's just it's a completely barbaric ritual that proves you have zero self-control, and you want to blame it on Trump Republicans. Is this what you think is going to get Beau Biden elected? Is blaming Trump Republicans on trying to chase down women in cars? But that aside, I'm getting triggered. This is from February 25th. And this one's about Tennessee Republicans. Republicans in Tennessee are trying to criminalize women that travel to receive reproductive care. We have to fight back. Really?
Taking Dr. Statement. Dr. Statement, please.
Help!
Trump Republicans want to criminalize young women who...
Trump Republicans. So I guess this is what happens after you get arrested by the police officer who somehow, some way followed you from your doctor's appointment. I mean, or you could just say, oh, yeah, I'm just road tripping with my friend. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And they are under the impression that people are still buying this, right? I mean, I'm not quite sure how even 30 years of brainwashing can't make enough people say, yeah, this makes sense. And they spend millions of dollars on this. They put together ads and run them all over the place to capture the mind of a dozen people. Nobody believes this. Again, in the comments, right? If this were more popular, then there would be more people saying, yes, we believe in you. Yeah, this is a good one. Says the guy who cheated on his wife. Yes, that's why I call him scumbag, greaseball, bang your wife, Governor Gavin Newsom. So he might have enjoyed abortion. Then he may have aborted a kid he had with his best friend's wife in 2005 or whatever. And it's absolutely insulting. And this comes directly after the first ad. So the one from the hospital bed back in February, and then the one on the road trip where they're fleeing Alabama to go get an abortion. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And this from Commie Pinko Rag, Arizona Central. Governor Gavin Newsom wants to help Arizonans get abortions in California. Here's what to know, right? So you're going to take advice from the man who is leader of a state that's absolutely collapsing, right? And I'll get to one single post from the San Francisco Chronicle in just a little bit. And it goes on, right? It's not new. We all know about this. It's been going on for decades now. But as Gavin Newsom is, this is real movie level villain stuff. He's luring young girls to California. And then you're going to send them back, and their parents or their family or the police officers are going to say, well, where'd you go? You were 9.5 months pregnant. You were going to abort the kid until it starts eating breakfast, and decided that you wanted to get rid of it. So you go back to Alabama, or maybe you don't go back to Alabama because Gavin Newsom is going to give you everything for free as if you were an illegal migrant. And it's going to cost you literally $1 million to live in the hood with a view of a barbed wire fence and gunshots whizzing in front of your window, right? So why do you think that guy is going to help you? Or is it maybe because he gets a little kickback from every possible angle when he keeps pushing these absolutely insane policies? But I digress. They say Governor Gavin Newsom is set to propose legislation to make it easier for Arizonans to seek abortions in his state, he announced on April 21st. Now, this is how low the bar has gotten, that at least this terrible, obvious hack leftist publication says abortion, right? Instead of, reproductive care. Health care providers in Arizona can provide abortion care for up to 15 weeks. But on June 8th, the state's 1864 abortion ban goes back into effect. The change will prompt many Arizonans to travel out of state to access abortion care, perhaps to the neighboring state of California. Newsom's proposal would offer Arizona abortion providers an expedited way to get licensed in California. Yeah, so in California, there's a they're going to charge you for the air you breathe, but you need to get a permit to kill a baby. I'm not quite sure how this is happening, where abortion is protected. Newsom said he hopes the process for Arizona providers would take as little to 5 to 10 days to be approved if the bill passes. So he's going out of his way to make sure that while his state is completely collapsing, that it's quite literally demonic, right? So everything is collapsing. The overpasses, the smash and grabs, the $30 million money heist in Southern California. It never ends. It goes on. And then, news publications are running stories about how, there was a brazen smash and grab that made national, if not worldwide news a couple weeks ago, but we can't find them. We don't know. We don't know how to get them. Meanwhile, in Harris County, Texas, they're chasing down a man who stole $33 from a Walgreens. $33 worth of merchandise from a Walgreens. But this is scumbag greaseball, bang your wife, Governor Gavin Newsom being so diluted and believing you're so diluted. And look, Governor Newsom is not stupid. This is pure evil. This is well past incompetence, I should say. This is literal witch behavior, luring young girls in because the police officers are going to arrest them if they suspect they're driving across state lines to kill their baby. So come to California. We'll kill the baby for you. You can stay here under a highway because you probably don't have $1 million to buy a hole in the wall in the hood, right? I mean, you're going to need at least 2 to get a decent crib. And you probably don't have that money because if you did, you would probably be having that baby. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And here is Governor Newsom. So you should get an abortion. You should do it. That's a burden, right? We might harvest these parts. We might make a little kickback, but I'm not going to do it. I got 4 kids and a wife, but you should get an abortion. And here's one more. Oh, yeah. Oh, Merry Christmas. This is my children and pets. You should get an abortion. Now, I don't know, maybe he did. It would probably be news if he actually did. But when he was sleeping with his best friend and campaign manager's wife back in the early 2000s, blamed it on the alcohol and apologized, maybe she forced her to get an abortion, or he forced her to get an abortion. Maybe, but probably not. It was just weirdo Hollywood swingers nonsense where they got drunk. And I mean, it's ridiculous, but that's what we know about. Imagine all the Panera carve out, his own restaurant not paying people what they deserve, even though he's pointing at you and saying you have to pay a certain amount. That, of course, will get filtered into his pockets and later into the bank accounts at the French Laundry. Here's one more. Oh, look at this. This is me and my wife and kids. I'm not getting my wife. She's not getting one. We're going to keep popping these things out, and there's going to be a weirdo Kennedy-esque dynasty for years to come. They're going to be all inbred and weird and going to bat for the establishment, just like the Kennedys. That's what we're going to do. But you should kill your baby. All that, wow. This from the San Francisco Chronicle. Outside Waleed and Ray Algham's corner store at McAllister and 7th Street, more than 100 people gather nightly. They pack the sidewalk on the backside of Civic Center Plaza, hawking stolen goods, dealing and using illicit drugs, talking with friends, and blaring music. Throughout the night, people from the crowd cycle in and out of Plaza Snacks and Deli, buying chips, soda, and coffee, as well as glass smoking pipes and lighters. Though the store's top-selling products, according to Waleed, are milk and cereal. They then flood back into the crowd of people, where most will socialize and enjoy their munchies until the early morning hours. City officials now want to hold store owners like Alghim, whatever, accountable, partly responsible for this scene, which replays night after night. So, Newsom is mad that the Republicans are criminalizing girls and even demonizing doctors, but then you do the exact same thing and blame the junkie zombie apocalypse, quite literally, look at this, on the store owners. And look, they're probably part of it. I'm not going to sit here and say they're not. They are probably dealing, I mean, that's how they get these weirdo congregations or whatever, these people lined up outside the stores, because they're probably, and I've seen it in Brooklyn, right, where I went into a store when I first got to Brooklyn and was going to buy some milk and cereal, and then it became clear very quickly that it wasn't actually a deli. It wasn't actually a food mart, and that's what's happening. So, yeah, maybe this one time San Francisco might be correct in saying that these type of stores are contributing to the problem, but there's so many levels before you get to them.
Levels. Levels. Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're going to let the Hondurans deal drugs all over the Tenderloin. You're going to let people sleep in tents on a bed of needles on the sidewalk. And you're not going to do anything about it. Right? So you're not going to fix this problem. I mean, it is quite literally, he's smoking crack. What the hell is he doing? I guess this is inside the store. Tell me this doesn't look like The Wire. This is a dope fiend overlooking the zombies as he just rakes in the cash single dollar bill by single dollar bill. It's a literal zombie apocalypse. Okay, not literal. I mean, who knows, right? Remember Crocodile? The weirdo methamphetamine stuff that would turn your skin scaly like a reptile or something.
Homemade drug that's mixed with some over-the-counter things.
For many of us, this was the first time hearing about a drug called Crocodile. But a quick search online brings up plenty of graphic images of the so-called zombie drug.
The scary part about Crocodile is that when you inject that into the vein, it can distribute into the soft tissue, and it can kill the soft tissue like a flesh-eating bacteria.
And speaking of Gavin Newsom is exactly a reptilian being. But look at this. It's an absolute nightmare. Everything $1. Yeah, I wonder where you got that from. And so they are pretending that the stores are responsible for that. They're not going to clean up anything in San Francisco. They're not going to abort their own kids, right? They're going to encourage doctorbs.
I will perform any operation for $129.95. Come in for brain surgery and receive a free Chinese finger trap. Okay, Fred. You tried the best, now try the rest. Call 1-600-DocTorb. The B is for bargain.
From Arizona to get certified in California, because of course it is very serious, and you need you need to spend a couple $1,000s so that you can make a couple more $1,000s on the back end by bending babies. I mean, there's just no way, right? You could go on and on and on. There's so many points to be made about this, but imagine this. Imagine being so desperate. Imagine being so depraved that your goal is to now sprinkle the word Trump into all of your nonsensical ads about young girls leaving the state to bend their baby